Hello friends, welcome back to Dinas Academy. In this video, we are going to take a quick introduction of parts of speech, and in the following videos, we will learn more in detail about each parts of speech. And do watch the complete video to get the clear understanding of the topic. And if you are visiting this channel for the first time, please consider subscribing our channel. Alright, let's know what is a parts of speech. First of all, parts of speech is just a name given to a word based on the job that it does in a sentence. And these words allow us to structure a grammatically correct sentence as each have different function within a sentence. And for sure, these parts of speech can be really useful to learn because when you're studying grammar, you'll come across the terms like noun, verbs, adjective, and so on. And if you know what they mean, it can help you to speed up your study of grammar. Alright, so how many parts of speech are there? There are 8 parts of speech, and we start talking about the verb. We start up with the verb because verbs are the most important words in English language. Why? Because every sentence in English must have a verb. You cannot have a sentence without a verb in English language. So, verbs are really important. What does a verb do? Well, verb is a word that shows an action or a state. Verb is a word that decides what the subject should do in a sentence. It denotes the action, position, condition, or experience of the subject. In simple terms, verb is an action word. Let's look at the example. The cat sat by the window. Here, in the given sentence, the verb is sat because that is the word in a sentence that decides what the subject should do. Let's move on to the another example. I am a student. Can you tell me which is the verb in the given example? The verb in the sentence is am. And I guess you guys have noticed a very important difference between these two examples. In the first example, we are talking about a physical action because sat is a physical action. But in the second example, we are not talking about any physical action, just saying I am a student. We call that a state or a situation. So, verbs can show action or state. Okay, the next part of speech is noun. A noun is a name given to a person, place, animal, thing, feeling, or an idea. So let's look at the examples. The first example, James lives in Canada. The second one is dog is a faithful animal. And the third example is wisdom comes with experience. Can you identify the nouns in the given examples? Yeah, in the first example, the noun is James and Canada. James is the name of a person and Canada is the name of a place. Let's move on to the second example. Dog is a faithful animal. The noun in the second example is dog. And let's move on to the third example. Wisdom comes with experience. And the noun in the third example is wisdom. And noun could be a thing like car, pen, or it could be a feeling like anger, love. In simple terms, noun is a naming word. Now let's move on to the another part of speech, pronoun. A pronoun is a word that replaces a noun. Replaces means it takes the place of a noun. Or pronoun is a word which is used to avoid the repetition of a noun. Pronoun is a combination of pro plus noun. Pro means instead of noun. Let's understand this with an example. Priya enjoys playing Ludo with Priya's family. Priya plays this game with Priya's family on weekends. When we look at this sentence, it's very unnatural to use the word Priya, that is noun, and we do not like that. And to avoid that kind of repetition, we use pronouns. So, can you tell me where you would use pronouns in place of Priya? Let's see the example in detail using pronouns. Priya enjoys playing Ludo with her family. She plays the game with her family on weekends. We use subject pronouns in the place of subject like I, you, we, they, he, she, and it. To replace the pronoun in the object position, we use object pronoun like me, you, us, them, him, her, and it. And there are other pronouns in English such as his, hers, this, that, myself, herself. But we will talk about them in more detail when we come to the lesson on pronouns. For now, just remember that the pronoun replaces a noun to avoid the repetition and to make our speech sound more natural. In simple terms, pronoun is a word which is used instead of noun. Okay, the next part of speech is an adjective. An adjective is a word that gives us an information about a noun or a pronoun. Have a look at this sentence. Mary has a big farmhouse with many workers in it. When you look at this example closely, you will realize that these gives us answers to the question what. What was the size of Mary's farmhouse? And obviously the answer is big. Here the big is an adjective because it describes the size of the farmhouse. Let's look at another example. She is a beautiful girl. And the adjective in this sentence is beautiful because it answers a question for what type of girl is she. She is a beautiful girl. And obviously, the adjective is beautiful. There is one more adjective in the sentence, and that is the word a. A and the are also called as adjectives because they give us information about the noun that comes after them. Okay, let's move on to the another parts of speech. Adverb. What are adverbs? And adverbs give information about verbs, adjective, and adverbs. So these are really important words. You see, they can do a lot of things. And adverbs usually answers questions like when, why, how, in what way, etc. Look at the example. The first example, I came home yesterday. In the given sentence, yesterday is an adverb because it answers the question when. Let's move on to the another example. She was walking slowly. In the given example, the adverb is slowly because it answers a question how. How does or how was she walking? She was walking very slowly. So, in simple terms, adverb is a supporter of a verb, adjective, or an adverb in itself. Let's see the next parts of speech, that is preposition. Preposition is usually divided into two parts. The word preposition is divided into two parts. Pre plus position. Pre means before and position means place. Preposition is a word that decides the position or a place of a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. It is a linking word to show the relation with a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. The preposition words are like, by, from, with, before, after, in, and at. And these words helps us to show the relationships in time, place, and position. For example, she lost her ring at beach. The preposition in the given sentence is at and it shows the place. Let's move on to the second example. He sat on the chair. The preposition in the given sentence is on because it shows the proportion of position. And the third example, I prefer to walk in the morning. The preposition in the given sentence is to and it shows the proportion of time, that is the morning. In simple terms, preposition is a decider of the position of a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. So let's move on to the another parts of speech, that is conjunction. Conjunction is a word or a words that join two words, two phrases, two clauses, or two sentences. For better understanding, we split the word conjunction as con plus junction. Junction is a place or a point of meeting of two sentences or phrases. Conjunctions are words like and, but, or, so, because. Conjunctions are useful in writing and speech to connect related ideas together, and they help us make our sentences shorter, less repetitive, or less confusing. Let's look at the examples. He ran fast but missed a train. And the conjunction in the given sentence is but. Let's move on to the another example. The flower is yellow and it has a particular smell. Here in the sentence, the conjunction is and it connects two sentences. That is, the flower is yellow, it has a particular smell. In simple terms, conjunction is a joiner of two words, functions clauses, or sentences. Alright, let's move on to the last parts of speech, that is interjection. Interjection are the words that have no real meaning but they help us to show sudden emotions or exclamations. It means it is a word that expresses our sudden emotions and feelings. For example, hooray, we won the match. Here, the word hooray shows an excitement or surprise or an amazement. Next example, alas, I am lost in the wilderness. Here, the word alas shows or expresses a grief or sadness. In simple terms, interjection is a word which expresses sudden emotions and feelings. Alright, so these are the 8 parts of speech and try to write example for each parts of speech and leave it in the comment section below. That's all in this video. Thank you very much for watching.